what's the great news? You know what's the good news for all of you? Actually, live video is applicable to all of you here, okay? Yeah, so I'm just going to share with you guys how each and every of your industry can actually make use of a very simple system and framework that I'm currently using. Yeah, to really gain your traction, visibility, and get your leads and sales from using live video, okay? Okay, so I'm just going to go in. So let me just introduce myself. I'm Jocelyn. And I'm a creative director now with JusGo Live, a marketing company that focuses on using live video to help brands, businesses, entrepreneurs, self-employed people to gain your loyalty and your sales for your business. Okay, so how do I help businesses? We can produce for brands their show. I mean, of course, during this in Singapore, we just sort of released our circuit breaker measures a little bit. So for some companies, they have started production, but previously, production was halted. So basically, it's more of like educating for now. Okay. Yeah. So I produce and I also help companies to learn how to do it themselves. So companies have a choice. If they have enough manpower and the right talent to do it, they can actually learn how to do it themselves. And if they don't, they need more production support, we will produce for them. Okay, and I strongly encourage you guys to be in touch with me on my social media because I usually do a lot of free sharing on my Facebook using live video, of course. Yeah. So you can find me if you type Jocelyn Goh Live, one word, in Facebook and Instagram. Okay. Or you can type Jocelyn Goh from Facebook and recognize me from my face lah. Okay. Okay, so just an outline of today's session. We will touch on three main areas. Why we should do live video now. So I'll share with you some benefits and some results that my clients and partners have gotten from doing live videos. Who? So meaning who can do live videos, okay? And how you can actually get started, okay? And some of my best practices so that your live videos are productive and effective for you and not just like a fleeting piece of entertainment, okay? Okay, so firstly, some statistics for those of you who like statistical proof and factual proof. Cisco has given it to you. Cisco study says that the traffic from the live internet videos will grow 15-fold in the 5-year period. Now, when they did this study, no one knew COVID was going to happen. So I'm sure the numbers are bigger now. Okay. Grow 15-fold and it will account for 17% of total internet video traffic. I believe that's going to be higher. All because of the triggers by the current COVID situation, and there is really a huge increase in the use of live video for businesses to engage and communicate with their consumers. Okay. So if you're considering using Instagram or live videos, this is good to know. Well, if you ask me, I would say you should not consider anymore. It's definitely a strategy that you should explore. Of course, later if you have the chance, I will actually try and address some of the concerns that you guys might have. But as much as possible, the thing is, if you're not doing and your competitor is doing, you're already losing your consumers to them. Okay, so that's the threat for you now. That's the biggest threat for you right now. Okay, so why live video? Just a little background, okay, on how successful live video can actually get and has already gotten. So these are screenshots from two of the biggest live streamers in China. Okay, so I know some of you here are not Chinese by race, so you might not have exposure to this huge e-commerce ecosystem happening in China right now. So I guess you guys know Alibaba, and Taobao is their top C2C e-commerce site and app. And about 5 years ago, they actually started introducing live streaming as a function in the app for people to shop. Okay, so you can see from the slide that they have a fully integrated e-commerce system with live videos. So people can generally just very quickly click on the link that the streamer is talking about at that moment, go check out. And meanwhile, they can still see the streamer talking and demonstrating on the pop-up window. So these are the two top live streamers right now in the Taobao app. And you can look at the numbers that I've circled up, right? I'm not sure if you guys on your laptop you can see. Can you guys see what's the viewership? The guy on the left called Austin Lee. Actually, if you Google, you will see some documentaries, videos about him, Austin Lee. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a eight-digit number of viewership. Okay, so it's 15.6 million. And the lady on the right is also, well, a bit higher than him actually. She started off earlier than him, so she's a bit more established than him. Her viewership is 17.8 million. Okay, so this is like their daily average, during peak, like pre-Chinese New Year, or when actually the virus first broke out in China and people were on lockdown, viewership went up even higher. I think I saw like 50 million kind of viewership. Okay, so, but that's China. They have a more mature ecosystem. They have a more ready group of consumers who are already consuming this since 5 years ago. But for us in the Asia region, in Asian region or Southeast Asian region, it's a bit newer for us. Our consumers are a bit newer to this. So, and depending on the size of your country and the usage of social media in your country, of course, we cannot expect the same numbers. However, we also have very promising numbers here in Singapore. So in case those of you who don't know, I'm from Singapore, okay? Okay, let me show you what kind of numbers we're getting in Singapore. Okay, so this guy on the left, he hosts his own channel, and he sometimes also helps like other channels, they do like collaboration to sell. I'm sure they pay him something for doing that, but he averages like 400 to 600 plus kind of viewership every time he goes live selling something. So someone was in retail, right? I think there's a number of you in retail. Okay, so retail products are one of the easiest things to go live now, because you basically don't need to have any like very deep kind of content sharing to do. Basically, you're just sharing your products and you talk about what is good, what is interesting about your products. And people now, because of the situation, because of being more at home, they have gotten very used to watching Facebook Live as an entertainment. They have gotten very used to buying. They feel safe now to buy on Facebook Live, whereas previously, lesser people, I would say about 25 to 30% lesser viewership. Okay, now, so on average now I noticed that there's like an increase of about 20 to 30% of viewers watching Facebook Live and ready to spend their money and willing to spend their money. Okay, so Sash has an interesting question. What are the demerits of live sharing? Sash, have you done live sharing before? Can you let me know in the chat, and I will continue answering your question later. Okay, so this guy, he's called Daniel. He's 600 over. I mean, he took about a year to build his traffic, but I'm sure along the way, he was still earning pretty good income. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to like last a year. Now, the lady on the right, Singaporeans will know that she got famous for her creative ways of selling fashion using Facebook Live. And this was a particular session that she hit 10,000 viewers. Well, it actually moved to 11,000, but I don't think I was like in time to capture the numbers. Okay, so these are the potential of Facebook Live, and you need to start somewhere if you ever want to, reach somewhere and get similar results for your own business. Okay, the thing is, if you do not start, you're not going to reach there. Okay, you might start with 6 people, but if all 6 of them are buying from you, that's totally fine. Okay, so those are retail products, right? So some of you might think, okay, retail products is easy because you have a physical product to talk about. you don't need very extensive preparation because it's very simple and straightforward. You just talk about the product like what a sales girl would do with you in the retail store. Okay, so what about the rest of us, even people like me, right? We don't have like consumer products that are for selling. So how can we use live video? So this is a recent collaboration live, which I did with a property agent called Gainer. I was there to share how property agents can make use of Facebook Live and to how most of them can actually get started, because quite a number of them are a bit older in age. They're not very tech savvy, so they are worried, about how things are. So in this collaboration live, we managed to hit 214 peak live viewers. So before this, Gainer's viewership, he has been doing Facebook Live since 2018. A bit later than me. I started in early 2018 myself. And his usual viewership is around 40-ish, 50-ish kind of viewers, okay, from a page following of around 800. Okay, so in that particular live, because we collaborated and we did a lot of pre-promotion, it actually broke a record, I think both for him and I, because through my own page traffic, I have not gotten such a high viewership as well. Okay, but in a while later, I'll share with you guys, although high viewership is good. Okay, but it doesn't mean if we don't get high viewership, nothing can be done. Okay, you actually don't need very high viewership to be able to sell your stuff. Okay, if you're going for direct selling, but if you're not going for direct selling, which is more content-based sharing, which I will also talk about later, it is not about the high viewership. Okay. So what was the result of this, of course, viewership numbers that we want to look at? So it's like what Sash says. What can we understand? 214 means 214 people were watching you and interacting with you at that time. So you were reaching out to 200 over people at that point of time. Of course, that viewers come in and leave. Okay, you're not in a theater. You can't sit them down and force them not to leave. But the thing is, for that session, we were averaging 130. So the thing is, you are actually speaking to 130 people at the same time without spending any money for an event space. Without having to do very expensive or extensive ad money kind of marketing to get this viewership. It was purely organic. So people are fully engaged because you didn't actually bring them in through an ad. Okay, so people were asking questions. Later I'll show you. Oh, you can see on the picture on the right, we had 411 comments out of the video. That was just after the video ended. Okay, and it's still growing. 111 reactions. Okay, and 11 shares. So basically 11 people shared it out. Okay, so at 214 live viewers at that point. So the thing is about live video, right? A lot of people are very worried. What happens, if during the live viewership is very low or no one turns up? Okay, the chances of no one turning up right now is actually very, very low. Okay, I've seen a lot of people trying to do their Facebook Live. I actually had a small coaching program previously to get people to start doing Facebook Live. And for people who are just doing casually, even for the first time, they got about 7 to 20 kind of viewers. Okay, so their friends were watching, their friends were commenting and interacting with them. Okay, so the thing is, it's advantageous now for you to start doing because people are responsive. People are used to it already. People actually start commenting even when you don't ask them to, because they are already very used to this format of interaction. Yeah, whereas previously, for the earlier adopters, we did go through a difficult phase of firstly getting higher viewership, secondly getting people to comment. There were people who would just watch silently and not comment, okay, no matter what. And I noticed a change in the consumer behaviors now. People just start commenting even when the streamer or the host is not asking for anything. Okay, so it's totally advantageous now. If you feel awkward, you feel like, oh my God, I'm like talking to myself. No, you don't have to worry, because the moment people come in, they actually start interacting with you. Okay. Then in terms of the extent, the lifetime, I would say the lifetime and the additional benefits of a live video is you're not actually just getting the viewership from the live during the live session itself. So you guys can see, right, 214 viewers. At the end of it, we actually clocked 1,800 views. Okay, so meaning 1,800 people sort of passed by our session. They came in for a while, maybe they left. Yes, but basically the 90-minute session touched 1,800 people. And after that, the views continued to grow. Okay, about a week later, when we look at the stats, there were 2,600 views. So people are watching the replay. Okay, so the true value of a live session is actually not just about when it's happening, it's about the after that also. Okay, you have a long form content that's done up. Okay, you will not do pre-recorded video that is so long in the first place. Okay, you can easily achieve that with a live video. So that's another advantage of live video that I really like. Okay, there's no painful editing involved. And it's still growing to like 2.6K views. Okay, so it's giving you a lot of reach and visibility, and it just grows organically, and you're not spending any ad money. So technically, if you ask me, this is one of the lowest cost of marketing right now. Okay. Sash, I cannot tell you which topic attracts more views because every industry has your own areas of expertise and topics. Okay, I will share more about this later, about what you should be doing, like what you can do in your live session. And not just that, so okay, Gainer got views, Gainer got lots of credibility and visibility from his peers who are also in the property field. For me, what did I get? Okay, I got a lot of potential leads out of that session. Okay, so one of the messages in my session was I told them to come and add me on Facebook so that they can continue to get information about whenever I have any free sharing or any causes, or even in my own casual Facebook live, I will also share more information and more strategies and techniques about doing social media live videos. So just that night itself, within 30 minutes after I gave out that call to action, right, 65 people came to add me as friends. So that was my friend request on Facebook. And these are all people who are interested to know how to do live video, how to get started, how to use it in their business. Okay, a lot like why you guys are here. So that's how live video helps to bring you more traction, more visibility, and of course at this moment it's leads. Okay. So the biggest questions people always have about live video, I don't know if you agree. If you agree, after I share these two questions, if you agree, just type agree. Or if you have other questions that you have, your biggest question about live video, you can also type it in the chat. Okay, two things. It's the what. Like this guy's looking really puzzled here, right? He's like, what do I say? Okay, what do I do in the video? Okay, so that's the number one biggest question that people always have. This is usually sometimes coupled with people who say, I feel weird being in front of camera. Then the other biggest question that people have is how to, what are the tools and what are the ways that I can do live video. Okay. Yeah. So do you guys agree with these two biggest questions? Because this is what I have gathered from all the people I have spoken with. Zunaida agrees. So the rest should have already started if you don't have these questions. If these two are not in your head, right, and you have not started, I wonder why. Kathleen agrees. Regine agrees. Sesh, can it also be why? Yes, it can be, but it just means I spent the last 10 minutes of explanation wasted. Okay. All I can say is with the right design, live video will work with anyone. Will work for anyone. Okay, if you can't see why you should do it, it's probably due to you don't know what to say, you don't know what to share. Okay, yeah, because the tools, I'll tell you later, the tools are actually the smallest part of the problem. Okay, yeah. Okay, so most of you agree. So I'll go on and give you guys some practices and tips, okay, that you can actually go and get started on. Okay, so firstly, you need to know where you can get started. Okay, we all know now about Facebook Live, okay? But actually, besides Facebook, well, we talk a lot about Facebook Live because most people are doing it there. Also because it's easy, it can work with your handphone, it can work with your laptop. Most consumers of good spending power are on Facebook. Okay, the Facebook general statistics now are women 35 to 44. Okay, so when I look at my clients' live stats, the bulk of viewership demographic is always women 35 to 44. Sometimes we get the men 35 to 44, but the age group is there. And this is the age group that people have a lot of reason to spend money because they have family, they have kids. This is also the age group that, we had Facebook in our youth. Okay, so basically the avid Facebook users who have spending power. Okay, and then of course we have the younger crowd who is on Instagram. So, you can also do live on Instagram. But currently it is mostly restricted to doing it through your mobile phone. And YouTube, okay, if you already have a YouTube channel, you have a pretty good following, you should consider doing live on YouTube. Okay, but if you do not have a current YouTube channel, please don't go and start one just for the sake of doing live. Those of you who are in retail with direct products to sell, I would say your best bet is actually just Facebook and or Instagram, depending on your followers. Okay. So when you want to choose when you want to go live, you need to know where your audience are. If you're selling to a younger crowd, use Instagram. Okay. If you are reaching out to a more mature crowd, use Facebook. Okay. So you need to know if you have a Facebook page, if you have an Instagram account, which one has more followers. Okay. For a start, I don't advise going live on like 2 places because you will find that it's quite hard to manage the viewers and their comments. Yeah, so start with one. And when you have gotten a hang of it, when you are very at ease being in front of the camera and handling your selling process, if you are directly selling products, then you can, start going on multi-channels. Okay, there's one more avenue that's not here. Anyone wants to take a guess? Besides Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Does anyone want to take a guess? What is the 4th medium that you can actually use live video for? WhatsApp, no. WhatsApp is more of a... Yes, LinkedIn just opened, but it's... LinkedIn is open, but it's like to selected people. You need to apply it. Yeah. I'm going more for the one that a lot of people use. Okay, so if you're in retail, I see Noemi, talk about Shopee. That's possible, yes. By the way, if you guys are selling on Shopee, the live function is so underutilized by sellers. If you start now, it will be a huge advantage to you. Okay, because all I see inside are sellers from China. I don't see the local sellers doing anything. Please go on the Shopee Live. Please make use of the traffic there if you are already a seller. Yes, so Terence says Mixer. I'm not sure. Mixer, is it a streaming app? Yeah. So of course there are a lot of avenues, okay, but if I'm telling you about getting leads and sales, Kathleen, Taobao only if you're a Taobao seller. But if you're not a Chinese national, it's a bit hard now to become a Taobao seller. Okay, TikTok is possible. If you have a huge following there, you can try TikTok. But I'm not sure locally or in the international region, are people used to spending money on TikTok, like, to buy something on TikTok. In China, it's very common now, the China version of TikTok. It's called Douyin. And live streaming is huge in that version of TikTok. Okay, but in the international version of TikTok, it's not quite there yet. Okay, I'm not sure if Easy Buy has live stream though. Okay, surprisingly, no one is mentioning whatever we are using now. Zoom. Hey guys, we are on Zoom. Zoom is a form of live video. Okay. Zoom is a form of live video. Why do you think we are here now in a live webinar? Okay, Facebook okay, when you go live on social media, that's like an open room. Okay, you're like maybe you're like at an open event at the mall, you know, when you talk, everyone can hear you and they can choose to walk to level 1 and sit down at a chair to listen to you or not. Okay? For Zoom, you're bringing people into a room, but it's still a live experience. Okay? So the principles that I'm going to share with you guys later, it's applicable across all this, even when you are doing a Zoom, which you think is a webinar, but it is still a live video. Okay? Yeah. So Zoom doesn't really do like the pre-recorded kind of webinars that you guys always see for like, you know, online courses. Okay, so Zoom is also an avenue for live video. Yeah. So I will share with you guys a little bit like what's the slight difference, but you know, it is one of the most commonly used. And I would say that if you want more audience, go on a platform that people are familiar with. Okay. There can be a lot more platforms, but go on something that your audience, your target audience is familiar with. Okay, so let's talk about the easy part first, which is the technicals, the tools. Okay, mainly just two ways, two choices. You do it through your phone or you do it through your laptop. Okay, it's as simple as that for a start. Okay, for your phone, just make sure like you have a tripod, make it stable. Please don't do your handheld live video. Well, why I say this? Does anyone here have an idea how long you think your live video should be, or like a minimum time? Just take a guess or like your own opinion. How long do you think a live video should be? Okay, Balaji says 40 minutes. Okay, care to share why? Sash says 1 hour. Okay, 15. I see. Okay, I think the numbers that you guys are giving are very healthy. It tells me that you have a very healthy expectation of doing live videos. Because at least you're not telling me 5 minutes. I've had people who insist that, you know, they only want to do for 5 minutes. Okay. Yeah, so I would say I always recommend like it's about at least 40 to 50, 45 minutes. But it's not for the reason that Balaji said that it's attention span thing. Okay, the attention span issue is another issue, because the thing is people do not watch your entire live video. That's the reality. Most people don't watch. So they will decide for themselves when their attention span ends and they will leave. It's up to them. Okay. You Yes, Kathleen is right. Those people who hold their mobile to do a live means they don't intend to do it for very long. It's not beneficial for you in terms of the Facebook algorithm. Okay, Facebook takes about 10 minutes to start picking up your content and push it out to people. Okay, and then it takes another 10 minutes to detect, is this a good content? Do I push it out to more people? Okay, so we see a lot of peak viewership from 30 minutes onwards. Okay, so if you end your live before that, you're not maximizing the reach that you can get, that Facebook gives you. Yeah, so Kathleen, maybe I guess you're already doing Facebook Live for your retail. Sounds like you are quite familiar. Yeah, so on mobile is 4 hours, on laptop is 8 hours. So if you want to sell for like more than 4 hours, you can consider doing it through the laptop. And a pretty good, you watch, yeah. So because most of them use the mobile phone to do it, which is the easiest. Okay, so the maximum they can do is 4 hours, and then they will just start another session. Okay, so it's as easy as just pressing the go live button on your mobile phone for a start. Okay, don't complicate yourself with all the fanciful stuff yet. Okay, when you're comfortable on camera and you have a fixed way and style of doing it, and you have a certain number of audience who likes you and follows you, then you slowly upgrade yourself. Okay, the other way will be, yes, through your laptop and a webcam. Okay, I recommend a webcam because usually a laptop webcam is not very good in terms of the brightness and the clarity, and also the angle is very hard to adjust because it's fixed within your laptop. Okay, yeah, so end up people are either looking up your nostrils or they are seeing like half your head sometimes. Okay, So tools-wise, in terms of hardware, this is it. It's just your phone or your laptop and a webcam. Okay, if you're of a professional expertise, I suggest you can consider getting a decent webcam, okay, of about 1080p and above. Okay, now if you're of a professional expertise, this is a web-based software that I would like to recommend you. Yeah, it's called Streamyard. Okay, I'm going to give you guys the link. That if you ever go in, it's free. In the first place, it's free. And there's a paid version where the logo will be taken away and there's full functions. And I'm going to give you guys a link here. If you're interested to explore this, click on my link, go and create an account, and you'll get a $10 discount in your account when you're ready to pay. Okay, so just get the $10 discount code first. Yeah. And when the day comes that, after using the free version, you like it and you want to pay for it, you have a $10 discount saved in your account. Okay, so what I'm showing you guys here these are some of the possible formats that StreamYard can do. This is extremely useful when you need to bring a guest with you onto your live. You can see on the left side, we actually managed to do like a 4-camera. That means like there's 2 of us, but each of us showing another angle. So we did like a 4-camera way to show how a keyboard lesson is being done online. And on the right, it was a hot seat session that I had with a business partner. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if any of you guys are actually using Zoom to do Facebook Live. I don't recommend it, although it's a function that comes with the paid plan. Yeah, because visually it's not very attractive. It just puts you on a black background and like 2 tiny little rectangles down there. Yeah. So StreamYard has all the functions that allow you to make your live stream more attractive with like the names, the lower banners, a back and a nice background. And also, if you have access to LinkedIn Live, and like let's say you applied for it and you got it, StreamYard is also able to work with LinkedIn Live now. Okay. Okay, so now, after let's say you got your video up and running, okay, you've hit the go live button. Well, actually, there's some planning you need to do before you hit your go live button. I'll share a little bit later. How do you get people to engage with you? How do you charm the people? Okay, how do you get in your viewers? So there's these 3 key points that you must follow. Okay, firstly, describe. Okay, what describe means? Describe means you must describe your video, what's happening. Okay, like what is today's live video about? What is today's session? Okay, so it's like a Facebook post. Before you hit the go live button, there is a section for you to key some text, which is your post captions. Okay, so you need to have, especially important if you can do a very attractive caption, okay, that will attract your audience. For those doing retail, if you're having a promotion that day, please put it down. Those of you who watch a lot of other people's Facebook Live, some of them put their, like delivery criteria, everything down there, okay? You have to put at least a headline. It doesn't have to be very long. You need to have a headline and a simple description of what the live session is about. Okay, why you have to do this? Because people are scrolling and scrolling and scrolling on Facebook, and they're going to scroll past your live if they have no idea what you're talking about. Okay? So they need to be able, you need to have a headline stopper for people to actually stop and want to tap in to turn on the audio to watch your live video. Secondly, during the live, you need to have some things that get people to comment. Okay? This is a very, very key thing in engaging your audience. Okay? If you are going on and on by yourself in a video without pausing to engage with people, to strike a conversation, then it's no different from putting up a pre-recorded video. Okay, Yeah, so you have not maximized the main benefit of live, which is the live interaction, the immediate answers that people get. Okay, so imagine today's session is pre-recorded. I don't think you'll feel very excited right now. Yeah, as compared to, you can actually ask me questions and I get to answer them. Okay, so have a few questions in your head, like, where are the moments that you can start engaging your customers and your viewers. Okay, so that's very important. Thirdly, share. Okay, you can get viewers to help you to share it out verbally, tell them to do so. That's one. Secondly, you can actually also do your own sharing. Okay, so this is one very important process that I always do when I produce my clients' live videos. I always go and research relevant Facebook groups that will allow me to share my content in. Okay, and when we go live, we will actually share it in. Okay, and that's when you start to attract more people to see you, to know about your page. And when they like your live video later on, you'll be able to invite them to like your page. Okay, so these are all functions available in Facebook. And this is how you can organically also grow your followers and your page likes. Okay, please don't buy ads for page likes lah. Yeah. Okay, usually I think people don't really respond to such ads also. Okay, yeah. So these are the 3 things you must do in a live video for a successful live video. Okay, next, I'm just going to share with you a quick story about how I managed to close 4-figure sales in a 90-minute live video. So just to let you guys know that, even if you're in the information business, you could also possibly do some direct selling in Facebook Live. It doesn't always have to be direct selling. It can be to build your branding, to build your credibility in your expertise, doing a live sharing. But for me, for example, I actually combine my live sharing with a product, like my expertise with a product. So it was a group coaching session with a webcam. Okay, so people get both together. Besides getting a good webcam, they also get to learn how to do live video. Okay, so I didn't have extremely high viewership like those people that I showed you just now. It was only about 38 on average. However, by the end of the video, over like including the next 2 days after the video ended, I managed to sell 25 sets. Okay, like 25 units of that offer, which is a $200 offer. Okay, so 25 people, you guys can do the math. Okay, it's 4-figure sales. Including the planning time plus my time to do the live session, I only spent about 3 hours and I didn't need to spend any ad money. Yeah, and I could potentially use this video to run ads later on if I want to continue selling the same thing. Okay, so basically I created a very long video content that I could use after that again in a very short amount of time. Okay, and conversion rates was very high. Okay, during the actual live, 26% of people responded to my call to action, which was to send me a messenger message to get a discount code. Okay, and during the live itself, half of them used the discount code to purchase. Okay, like immediately. Okay, then there were people who got the discount code, but they were a bit busy. They didn't act immediately, but because there was a cutoff date, over the next 2 days, people started to drop their orders after watching the Facebook Live. There was also people watching the replay. Okay, so it resulted in closing of 25 units sold. Okay, so this is one possible way, and this is also a potential result for yourself. And I had 15 shares from the video. Okay, which I don't think I actually very actively told anyone to share in the video, but I guess quite a number of them were sharing out to their friends. Okay, so what's the key thing that you need to have in your content to actually make your time more worth in doing the live video. Firstly, if you're not sure what you want to talk about, always have one key message that you want to convey in the live video. Okay, so it has to be a key header or major topic that you want to talk about, and then you can have like your smaller pointers within. Okay, so that's one. Okay, you can't go in totally unplanned unless you're a very, very seasoned public speaker, which maybe some of you are. Okay, I'm not sure. I have a planner for you guys that you can go download later, so I'll give you the link. And so in that planner, it will give you the detailed guide of what you can prepare before you go live. And you can actually use that planner. If you have an iPad, you can write on it, the digital version. If you want to print it out, you can print it out and write on it also. Okay, so always have one key message that you want to convey, at least one to two key messages that you know you want to convey in your live session. Okay, use that as your header. Of course, write it into a more attractive way if you can, and you're ready to go. You can have your key points on in your notes. Okay, but please don't have like a exact word for word script. Okay, because it will make you more nervous if you're not used to it. Secondly, always have a call to action. Okay, for those of you who are doing direct selling, the call to action is very clear. You're gonna ask people to buy. Okay, what about the rest who are like in expertise or knowledge industries? Okay, there are a few simple call to action techniques that you can use. Okay, for example, asking people to like your page, that's one very simple call to action. Secondly, asking people to drop you a message in Messenger, that is also a call to action. And thirdly, if you have something to give people, like an ebook, that is also a call to action. You could ask people to comment on the keyword and you'll be able to send them something. Okay, so that is another type of call to action. Okay, so these are methods to actually start bringing leads into your funnel. Okay, for those of you who are not doing direct selling. Okay, so for right now, let's say I'm going to tell you guys, comment the word planner and I'll know who is interested to get the planner, the free planner. Okay, I see Walter, Noemi, Kathleen, Zunaida, Fufu, Balaji. Yeah, so almost right. Usually most people will comment. About, at least I would say, based on my previous experience, about at least 40% of people will comment. But actually everybody wants it. But some people, if you understand viewers or yourself, sometimes you just leave a live video running, right? You're just listening to the audio and maybe you're not sitting there watching. So maybe the phone is not with you, so you don't get to comment. Okay. Yeah, and this is not Facebook, so I can't reply you like one by one, but like in Facebook, right, you could actually reply them or leave them a private message if it's at a page. If your live was done on a page, there's a third function called message, and you actually can communicate with them through Messenger directly. Yeah, so what I do for my clients, because we always offer an ebook where after someone comments the keywords, we will use the message function to send them the link, and it will bring them to the website where they need to register as a member to get the free ebook. Yeah, okay, so that was a method to start building customer database that you can eventually continue to charge them.